All the best things that I've seen, and all the most wonderful views, all the best sights that I see with you. All the best nights I never slept, all the days I'm holding on to, all the best times that I've had with you.
Welcome to Joshua Tree. So today I thought I'd give you a bit of a run through of our Kombi and our Caravan because we've never really done one before. So about 4 years ago, we left Australia with our 3 kids to kind of drive around the world. And so far we've been in New Zealand, Japan, Hawaii, and now we've just hit the mainland US. So I'll give you a bit of a run through of the bus and the Caravan and show you all the sort of features and what we've kind of done and how we've kitted them out to make this crazy adventure work. So she's the 1962 Volkswagen split screen Kombi. We've had her for about 8 years now, and we named her Izzy. That's her name, and the kids just absolutely love her, as we all do. She's really a member of our family. But we bought her initially with the intention of going around Australia, where it's just me, the wife, and our little son, Riley, who was 1 at the time. We all used to just sleep in the back. It's a double rock and roll bed, so we used to just rock that into each night, pull his car seat out, put it in the front, and then just put like curtains up on each window. And then, yeah, we've modified her and changed a lot since then as we've kind of had more kids. But come check her out. So this is the front. We've got, I leave my camera bag there pretty much all the time, so we're kind of ready to grab any photos or whatever if we see anything. And this splits at the front is probably the coolest thing because it's just like an air conditioning system, especially up here where we are in Joshua Tree. It gets so hot, and so we can kind of just angle them how much airflow we want. We've eaten a lot of bugs over the time. It's like riding a motorbike without a helmet. So when we bought her, she actually had like a rear facing seat. So she had like club seating in the back here. And the bloke we bought her from, he used to use her a lot for kind of weddings and shows and stuff like that. So we pulled out that seat and we kind of redid the whole interior. We laid some wood panels down here, and we built this cut cabinet after much deliberation. If there's not much room really, but to get the maximum out of her, we didn't want to plumb gas in at all. So we've got this little table where the wife just cooks out here all the time. If we're at the beach or wherever we are, this gets used a lot. We put this little gas cooker under here. We then got like a sink up here that we originally had like a 12-volt pump, and we had like a grey water and a clean water tank underneath here, but we found that it's just too much storage that we're losing from the minimal times that we use it. So now we kind of just use the sink for storage really, and if we ever need to fill it up, we just fill it with hot water and just put the plug in it and do the washing up. We've got this cabinet. This is where we use like all our beach stuff. This is like a big charging dock, rugs, things like that, you know. This drawer is for all the kids' toys, books, colouring in, stuff that kind of keeps them entertained on those longer drives. This one I use for all our camera gear, so just quick access if we need anything. And then the last one is an everything drawer. You've got to have an everything drawer, mate. They're just so vital, you know. And these are the curtains that we used to use and we still do use them. Like if the baby falls asleep, we'll put these up. But we got them made from a lady in the UK, and they're just all magnet, pretty damaged now, but they just kind of go like this. And we've got them for absolutely everywhere, every window, even the windscreen, even the back window as well. They're super handy. So this is a 50-litre Dometic fridge. That's we've pulled that out so we can get more stuff into it, but we do use it a fair bit. I've got an auxiliary battery in the boot. This is like a little hatch, like an everything hatch. You've got to have an everything hatch. Wife uses it for all her like plates, cutlery. It's also got like a 12-volt socket, 2 USB plugs, and also a power point in there as well. She puts her books in. If you haven't got her books yet, definitely check them out, mate. That's her cookbook, and this is our one at Vanlife in New Zealand. Something to check out if you're interested. And we've got like the inverter underneath this as well. Under this seat is full of storage. We use like all our heavy cast iron fire cooking, all our fire cooking gear. We put all that under here, and we've got an inverter as well, so we can just reach down this side. Well, I can't really normally, it's the wife's little hands that can get down there, turn it on, and then this plug is live then, so if we have to charge any 240 volt, we can do that while we're on the road. It's like a table we designed so that you can just clip this like this. It goes into here. You got a table. Really cool. Up here, I've got my surfboard strapped to the roof. I've got 4 fishing rods. Little boy's rod and 3 of ours. And back here is a little hidey hole up the top. So we put speakers up the back there, and this little hidey hole is great for, like, that's all the rest of those curtains I showed you. And then just, like, you know, gaskets, all my parts that I need. We fit actually a stack of stuff up there. Then we put in all these LEDs. So there's 5 total, 2, and 1, and they're all individually controlled over here. So they're pretty handy at night when the kids need to draw or whatever else. We can just turn on that back one and it doesn't phase us too much up the front. Sweet, I'll show you the boot. So in the boot here, we put in this rear safari, actually not even that long ago, hey, which is pretty cool because I like to use it when you put it up like this and you're ready to camp. It's actually a really good bar. So you sit here, mate, you have your beer, you look at the view, and it's good airflow when we're sitting idling or whatever, but it's not that, like when we're driving, sorry, but it's not that good because I worry about fumes getting onto the kids or in the car, so I don't really use it when we're driving at all. But still, pretty cool to have, especially if sometimes when the baby's asleep and we're sitting somewhere, then we can open that up, get a bit more airflow. So in the back here, car seats, so we put these in, the anchor hooks. We had to get all this stuff engineered. We're Queensland registered in Australia, so we got all that stuff engineered for the 2 car seats. We had, and then our little boy, he doesn't need one, he sits in the middle seat. This is a car cover, like an all-weather car cover. So if it rains and we're out somewhere, I'd much prefer to be a bit protected. So I normally just throw that over the top of her and just keep all that water off her. These leveling blocks, mate, I just got these the other week, and it's changed my life. For so long, we were with the Caravan, it'd be uneven, and we'd find a block of wood, and it was just annoying. And then I saw these in Walmart, I bought them, and I absolutely love them. This is all like this: oils, tools, that little axe for chopping up anything, but we hose because we try and wash her as much as we can. And this is what I use. We get asked a lot about Penetrol, about rust protection. This spray is gangster. And then lastly, this one over here, these boxes. We got these boxes in Japan, they're so good. But wife put like a little mat down here to look after it a bit better. And this is all my tools, so I've just got all my belts, fuel lines, absolutely everything, all the stuff that always goes wrong. So probably like our most asked question, what engine are we running, what gearbox are we running, and how the hell do we pull this little Caravan? Firstly, the Caravan, it's fiberglass, so it doesn't weigh that much. It's 800 kilos, about 800 kilos fully loaded. So it's still a feat for easy to pull her, but it's probably not as bad as it looks. So we're running a 2.1 litre. This is a custom built 2.1. Then we've got dual 44 IDF Webers, put electronic ignition on it, and it's done really well. We've got a big oil cooler up the front, like about halfway up the front with fans. And it doesn't get too hot really. Like this Ben Joshua tree is the first time I've actually had to pull over and just let those oil temps come down a little bit because it was at the top of the range I like to operate it at. But when we originally got the engine, we did have a few problems with it. The distributor drive pinion was actually really coarse when it was installed, so it just ripped apart the brass gear on the crank. So we had to rebuild it and then put it back in again. And since then, when we did that in New Zealand, it's actually ran really, really well. Before this, we had a 1600 and we were in Australia with that, and it was just bulletproof. It just never gave us any troubles. And then I rebuilt the top end of a 1641 and we did another lap of Australia in that, and that was really, really good as well. Yeah, we've got like a blaze cut system as well up here. So I guess fire with air-cooled engines is your biggest sort of threat. So we installed that so it gets to like 180 degrees. It just dumps extinguishing all over the engine and hopefully gets that fire out. And then I've also got a fire extinguisher up the front because kids in the car, you just want to make sure everything's really, really safe. Auxiliary battery here that runs like all our lights, inverter, everything else, the fridge. And then I've got this is the Autocraft Engineering tow bar. We got it from the UK, sent over to Australia, and it's unreal. It also has like a function where you can like click it off and you can lock it as well with a key, and then you can get rid of it so you can't even see it behind the back bar. The gearbox we run is a 76 Superbug box. It's been pretty bulletproof so far. We had swing axle originally, and then we upgraded it to IRS when we did the whole engine and everything else. But she's really done well. I mean, I'm under here every day. Like, I'm always covered in oil because I'm always just making sure everything's good, tuning her up, especially with all these elevation changes that we've kind of been having. New Zealand was wild. It's constantly tuning carburetors. And that's her. Hope she keeps running for a fair bit longer. So lastly, the paint and the wheels. So we run 17-inch air-cooled smoothies. We've had them on it since, actually the whole time we've owned the bus. They're big and they're heavy, and sometimes they scrub, but we installed like a compressor which is behind my seat, so I can raise and lower them a couple of inches because the ride height does change whether we're towing the Caravan or not. For the paint, we went with like I think we've painted her about 3 times now, but we went like a gloss on the top in the white and like an Arctic white, and then this is actually a satin. So we've changed this yellow, like just trying to, it was more yellow, and we've just kind of taken the intenseness of the yellow out of it each time we've sort of painted it, but now we've got it pretty much perfect, I think. Roof racks, these things have been a lifesaver. Like before we had the Caravan, we had these loaded, going around Australia, fuel canisters for those big long drives, you know, tools, everything else, our tent that went off the side. And then when we were in New Zealand, we had like a little inflatable boat with like a little 15 horsepower motor that we used to carry in the boot. And I used to put the boat up here. It was about sort of 36, 40 kilos, and it held it no problems at all. It's done really well. So they're not just for show, they actually have an amazing use case. So I hope that gave you a bit of insight into the Kombi. If you've got any questions, hit us up in the comments below. If I've forgotten anything, I'll do my very best to answer. So we want to show you through the Caravan, but unfortunately we've run out of time. We're trying to drive there before it gets too hot. So we're going to drive down there. It's about 15-20 minutes down the road to a national park, and then we'll run you through the Caravan. So stick around and we'll show you some of this landscape on the way, eh?
Meet me by the river when the sun's going down. Make a little fire, pass a bottle round. Ain't no pants, so follow on the sound. Oh, I see you down there. You can tell to your friends, and they can never find. Oh, Jack and Jim alive.
The king of the world! The king of the world! The queen of the world! And the desert! And the desert!
Mate, how good is this spot? We can't believe it. It was a beautiful drive on the way in here. It feels almost like prehistoric. It's quite spiritual, you know. So kids have been loving it, playing with dinosaurs and climbing the rocks. But anyway, I thought we'd run you through this Caravan. So it's a 1964 Franklin Caravan. As I said, it's fiberglass. It's 800 kilos, fully loaded. So super easy to tow. And after we bought it, we found out there's actually only 16 of these ever made. We found ours in like the bottom of Western Australia when Kerry was pregnant with our 3rd child, and we thought it was kind of like the end. You know, we've been living in the tent for 2 years, attached to the Kombi, and we thought this is it. We're going to stop travelling, and then found this, and you know, the rest is history. Here we are. But it took me about, once we found it, it was pink and it was all run down. But I just looked at the lines and I was like, it's like they were meant to be, you know. So after a bit of negotiation, we got it, and then we shipped it from the west coast of Australia to the east coast, and we drove back to the east coast, and it took me about 3 months to fully restore it, sand it all back, and fit all the inside out, new cabinets and all the electrical system, hey. I'll run you through it real quick. It's got electric brakes, we fitted those to it, and I've got a Red Arc brake controller in the Kombi, which is super handy, and actually brakes better when I've got this attached than just the Kombi by itself. I've got disc brakes on the Kombi, and I did a dual master cylinder as well, but with this attached, it really brakes well, hey. So, and then we fitted it with I'll come in and I'll show you. So we fitted the whole thing out with EcoFlow gear, and it's been amazing. This is a little controller that we've got, and I can run my AC/DC off here. My mate, who's a Sparky, he rigged it all up for us, and I can turn on, we can turn on all our lights here, all the different sockets, fridge, everything like that. It's actually quite cool, hey. So this is my favourite cupboard in the Caravan. It's the power cupboard. So we fitted all out with marine grade carpet. It used to be the wardrobe, but now it holds the EcoFlow power hub system. We've got an AC/DC distribution panel here. Put another circuit breaker in because you can never be too safe. And this controls absolutely everything. We've got like a 400 watt EcoFlow solar blanket as well that we carry when we're off grid like tonight. We used to be 10 kilowatts, so 2 5 kilowatt batteries, but it was just absolutely overkill. So we got rid of one of them to get down a little bit of the weight, and that's more than enough for what we sort of need. This as well is our little transformer that's been quite handy because everything, the van's in 240 obviously, and everything's over here is 110. Japan was 110, so that's helped us out a bit, although it's pretty noisy and it goes through fuses pretty quickly as well. Then just a heap of camera gear and cords. That is my favourite little cupboard. I'm going to hand you over to Kerry now and she'll run you through the rest of the van and how she keeps it in shape, and she does a damn good job of it too.
Welcome to our little home on wheels. So I'm going to show you how we live and how everything kind of works from the inside. So for starters, this is the kids' bed and the kids' area. These cupboards are all full of their belongings, their schoolwork, their pens. They've basically got a cupboard each, although Riley is a dinosaur lover, so his dinosaurs are too big to fit up there. They're just scattered everywhere. Now this bed actually turns into a booth, so we can pop up the table and they can sit here and have their breakfast, their dinner, their schoolwork, and it's such a breezy, beautiful little spot. But for now, it's in bed mode, which is cool. And underneath means that we've got storage, so we try and fit whatever extra stuff they have, which at this stage is their backpacks, and I think there's a skateboard under there and a kid's aeroplane. So they can just climb under there and grab all their toys when they want to play with them. Now we can move over to the kitchen, which is my favourite part. I have been cooking out of a Kombi for a very long time. So I was very excited when I had the opportunity to design this very tiny kitchen. And I really was adamant on having a big fridge. Which, funny story is Lockie and I sort of tossed and turned about the size of the fridge. Turned out to be this guy, but he can't fit through the door, so he had to come in through the sky roof there. But we made it work, and I'm stoked because we do fill it up very quickly. We also have a Dometic cooktop, which is hooked up to our gas. Since we've left Japan, we've had no gas. I prefer to cook outside. It's been hot anyway. A lot of the times we're cooking on fire. This has just really been for like those cold nights or quick meals, but yeah, haven't really used it for a while. And then we fitted the sink, and our knife magnet is by ABI. We love ABI. They just make it a little bit more stylish, and it's really wearable over, big rocky mountains and stuff. I've filled the sink with all sorts of things, and it's just been super durable. We've also got all these cupboards up around the top. Now they are kind of different shapes and sizes. Each cupboard has been stuffed with something different. We've got mosquito coils in one. We have pots and pans. Food, again, they're quite finicky in size, so I just have to kind of be a bit methodical in what goes in each one, but they're all full. We've got all our bits and bobs in there. Our handles are also ABI. They are, I think, the shell discs. I'm not sure if they're available anymore. Okay, we actually decided to go with bamboo for both the table and for our bench top because we were trying to reduce as much weight as possible. It's probably a regret of ours now, looking back, just because it's just not been very wearable. We could probably take it out and give it a sand at some stage, but it's definitely been one that we would probably choose something different for next time. On to under in our pantry under the sink. So we've kept all of this very simple. Pull out all of our cups, mugs, plates and bowls, extras, and then cleaning gear underneath. Onto the cupboard next to Lockie's favourite cupboard, which I am the one who keeps that in order, is our, well, it's our everything cupboard. So we've just basically given the kids each these little clothing boxes, so they've all got their names on them and they can just grab their clothes, swimwear and things like that. I try to just put what they're going to use when we're on each, sort of each 5 days whenever we're traveling and we've done washing and stuff like that, and just rotate. I've got 2 big buckets underneath the bed that has a rotation of warm clothes and just extra stuff in case they get extra dirty, which is often underneath is towels and linen and all extras there. I use Sand Society, which is an Australian brand. They are really lightweight. They just squish absolutely everywhere. They're really trendy looking and they dry quick. Onto our bed. So this is where Lockie and I sleep. Most of the time we have Elsie in here. She kind of bumps between each bed. We both have the best sleeps ever. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a very peaceful little place, but we both really love sleeping here, don't we? Everybody snores. Does Dad snore? Now this can actually turn into a futon too, so you can actually flick it up and it turns into like a little couch. Underneath we have our stocky baby bath, and then we've got our suitcase, which is full of extras, a laundry bucket, and like I said, we've got some winter gear under there as well. So much stuff can fit under there, it's crazy. We've got one more cupboard here. This is just shoes. I have been trying to think of a solution for this, but that seems to be the great spot for shoes. There's also a big giant box of Lego under there.
That used to be the shoe one.
I know. Now these guys, they're broken, but they've got all our cords for hooking up to power. So we've got, I think, 3 big cords there for when we're on the go. I can't open this. It's really hard to open, but it just has tools in it. It's really stuck. We try our hardest to just keep everything as minimal as possible so that we can live freely in here. The kids, honestly, they spend so much time outside.
The Kombi!
Oh, the Kombi.
I think it says Izzy.
It says Isabella.
Isabella.
Yeah.
The door open.
So I didn't actually realise this, but I named Izzy. It's common to name your Kombi when we first bought her. And then, oh God, what is it, 5 years later? 5 years later we bought the Caravan, and I was like, oh, let's call the Caravan Bella. And it wasn't until someone said to us, do you realise that it's Isabella? Alright, so I only probably recently, actually in Japan, we picked up this snow peak table and I'm obsessed with it. I just love being outside cooking. It's where we do our washing up. It's such a great table and it's just so handy to be able to put stuff out of here. Our chairs, the slow road chairs. So we designed these, as I said, about 7 years ago, and these 2 colours are coming soon. So we did have 2 LPG bottles here, but during shipping from Japan through to
Hawaii.
Yes, they took them off, didn't they? And we just didn't feel like we should put them back on because they would have removed them again from Hawaii through to the mainland. It's the Alba surfboard, which also acts as a really good shade inside the Caravan.
Have the fins.
No, not since we've transported it. Because we've actually been really slack and 4 of our windows don't have our our curtains up. So sometimes it sits on the back wall, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Alright, Lockie talked to you about our solar panels. Probably need to move them now, we've got a bit of shade on them. But they are always pumping at the moment, aren't they, Alba? Starlink, only recently had Starlink just because obviously we're not from the US and it was just easier to have internet for the kids to do work and for us to book campsites. All our windows pop out, which is so cool because we can just get that extra bit of airflow in there. We do not have aircon. I think that everyone expects it to have aircon, but too heavy for us, so old school, just like Izzy.
Oceans from here, send me a sailboat.
I hope you've enjoyed a little look through our Kombi and Caravan and how we live on the road in these guys. If you do have any more questions, feel free to ask below and we'll both be happy to answer those if we can. For now, I think it's time to cook the kids some dinner.
And read books.
And read books. And enjoy this really beautiful national park. See you again.
Stay again and hope you read my book.